Mike McConville here, one more time, Stratford, Ontario, Canada. This is the process that I use to swap out the original plastic injection molded bridge on this Gibson guitar. I utilize these 4 plastic nibs. I use those to press fit them. You can see the marks on the pine block. That guaranteed that I would line up the original bridge pin holes. I've left a little bit more of an edge on that back side, and we'll make a solid rosewood one. I have dampened a cloth. I've set that cloth in between the 2 brass brake fittings that go into the top to make sure it's centered on the actual plywood bridge plate. So it's not sopping wet, but a fairly damp cloth. On top of that cloth, we've got a 60-watt bulb. That 60-watt bulb will heat and gently steam through the plywood and soften the glue joint so that I can slip it off and put a real wood bridge plate in there, about 90 thou thickness. Wanted to stop for a second to give you an update on this J45. There's the original bridge plate, the 3/16 inch thick plywood one. And here's the replacement plate. It's 90 thou thick, solid quarter sawn black walnut. So what is the difference between a solid wood bridge plate versus a plywood one? It's pretty simple, actually. Have you ever picked up a piece of solid wood, a thin piece of solid wood? Doesn't matter what it is. It could be maple, walnut, cherry, spruce, and give it a tap, right? And listen to it. Then pick up a piece of plywood and give it a tap. It's dead. By the way, that plywood plate is about, I'd say about 3 times the weight of the replacement, the solid hardwood one that I put in. And you could use various woods for bridge plates, maple, rosewood. I think ebony is actually too hard for a bridge plate myself, but cherry, walnut, maple, any of these woods are fine for a bridge plate. We're reducing the mass on the top dramatically by switching over to hardwood, but it's also much more resonance. And these are the fasteners that came out. So I basically threaded the inside hole of that fastener, put a screw in and then a couple of nuts on the bottom, and then gently pushed and turned and unthreaded it. You can see the rosewood replacement blank. So I used the original bridge to locate the holes for the bridge pins, which are the single most critical thing that's got to be right, and then the outside parameter of the bridge is shaped once those holes have been established. I've stacked the 2 bridge plates top so you can see the difference in profile. I've extended the back edge of the plate just to give it a little bit more purchase behind the pins, and we've still got a fraction of the weight with the replacement hardwood bridge plate compared to the weight of the original plywood one. Here's a bird's eye view of the top now. The old bridge plate is out, new bridge plate is in. Now I'm filling all the extra holes that were in there for indexing nibs from the injection molded plastic bridge that was on the guitar originally. A replacement rosewood bridge is done. I've just marked the values. Radius, the saddle to match the fingerboard radius. Yeah, after the final sanding is done, then we'll just give it a quick wipe and darken it just a little bit to sort of get a closer match to the actual fingerboard. One quick wipe with some oil and it's like a different piece of wood. So I guess my biggest regret was not recording this guitar while all that junk was still in there, the plastic bridge and the plywood bridge plate. Okay, so we got a compensated nut, we've got a solid rosewood bridge to replace the plastic hollow injection molded bridge. It did need a fret dress at the neck junction. The fingerboard extension needed to be trimmed down. We put a intonated saddle in there, and that's what we ended up with. Now I actually tried a couple of different sets of strings on this. Because it's such an open grain, very wide grain top, it was much more responsive to the, in this case, the custom light strings. I put the 12 to 53 regular light gauge on. Actually 12 to 54, they're Martin strings. And it was okay, but it's funny because when I dropped it down to the 11 to 52, the guitar just opened right up. So listen to the sustain on those first strings. Second string, third string. Tons of snap on this thing now. So there you have 1961 J45. This voice is heard for the first time. We basically milked the maximum amount of resonance, sustain, overtones, bass, treble, projection out of this thing that we could possibly get.